Hello all, welcome back to Mud Stomp Solves. So, moving on today, I've decided that I'm going to tackle a 2,000 piece puzzle, which will be my biggest puzzle to date. The 1,500 piece I did recently was about 88 centimeters by 66 centimeters, I think. This one is going to be 99 centimeters by 68.5 centimeters. For our American type friends, that's 39 inches by 27 inches. Excuse me for a moment while I get Mr. Pain in the Butt out of the way. All right, so if you haven't noticed recently, cat gets in the way a lot at the moment. So anyway, I'm going to do this 2,000 piece puzzle. It's from Masterpieces by the looks of it. It is called the Adirondack Anglers, which I have a feeling could be something of a Swedish, Scandinavian type name. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, this is the kind of one, as I said in my previous video, that I really like because I find that every piece you can sort of figure out where it goes just by looking at it, or a large amount of them early on anyway. I can't say that I'm not a little bit nervous about the greens. I was looking at it and just thinking about what I might split the pieces up into when I sort them. I'm kind of looking at the roof as individual thing, building pieces otherwise, maybe the wagon on its own, all the bits to do with all the people and stuff, maybe the path or the river might be a separate piece, and then all the greenery, and obviously the edge pieces. This, if you haven't seen a short from a while ago, this actually has the some of the edge pieces, it seems, already bagged out, so that's kind of cool. It was an op shop buy after all, so like most of my puzzles. But for $1, you can't argue, can you? So yeah, anyway, let me get into sorting this and we'll see where we go from there. And yeah. Alright, so finally finished the 2,000 piece puzzle sort. Probably went a lot quicker than I was thinking, but I will say I probably did a lot less piles than I could have in some ways, and that's meant that it was quite a quick sort. So overall, pretty successful sort, I think. Interestingly, I got asked recently about why bother sorting as if it's a waste of time and that. And it's kind of an interesting idea that I think most people admit that you will sort out edge pieces, and because they're easy to spot. And essentially sorting is just continuing that idea to other things. So colors, textures, that kind of stuff. And it just means overall the puzzle's going to get solved a lot quicker in the long run, particularly with a large piece count. So anyway, what have I got here? I've got all my greens, so trees, mountains, that kind of thing. We've got the river, hopefully, all together. Fingers crossed that's all there. And then the sky pieces over here. Now, the sky and the river might have a couple back and forth, but I think for the most part, I managed to figure out different textures for them. I've got roof pieces, so the tops of the roofs were quite distinctive. And then path pieces. And I put all the wagon wheel bits together in one go, just because they're connected to the path and that. Then I've got characters, so animals and people basically, which I'm pretty sure I'm missing pieces from there because they'll be in this pile. Well, I'm calling it the buildings pile, but basically anything with straight lines and stuff. So mostly buildings, things like that. It's probably got a few more things that are a little bit more distinctive in some ways. So bits of the canoes, this sign, obviously the top of the wagon, those kinds of things. But largely speaking, I think it's the most of it. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about building this. I don't really want to rush into doing the edge because I don't think the edge is going to be that easy. I think I'm probably going to aim at doing the roofs, funnily enough, early on, and probably the path pieces, just because I can start with the wagon bits, and then I might even extend into the top of the wagon from the building bits. and try and get a lot of this building done early on. Which, you know, I mean, that's almost a third of the puzzle then, I guess. And then if I get the water and the other buildings done and all the people, I'll probably be around halfway or so, and then might sort of work on the edges from there. I don't know. We shall see. Let's go. So, as per usual, I've gotten a little bit carried away after filming and done a bit more than I anticipated. So, after getting the sign done, I worked on the triangular areas that are the fronts of the roofs. And then I started working on the actual roof pieces and managed to get those all connected in and around here. So I've got a significant portion of the main building in the property done. I've got this canoe sign out the front. So again, we've got most of this roofing done and in there. And I've done the wagon, I'll show you that in a sec, and the canoe. And in actual fact, I've done a little bit of these canoes and a little bit of this house as well. So yeah, it's sort of getting along quite a bit. So there's the wagon. And then I've got the little bits of canoes done there and a little bit of the house. And what you can probably see around it is all these piles that I've managed to sort out of my building pile. So I now have the rest of this sign pretty much ready to go. I've got the windows from the main building ready to go, the chimneys, and these are the missing pieces from the wagon that will also connect the wagon to the bottom of the building. Speaking of which, this is the bottom of the building there, the lattice at the bottom. I've also got a bit of the red door for this part of the building. This bit's actually in the wrong spot. That's actually got to go over on the other building set. But anyway, this is the red building then in the right-hand side of the picture. And that's the windows from these buildings over here. And then this is all the rest of the canoe pieces that'll go in with that pile over there. So yeah, I've got quite a lot sorted out. It was kind of funny because as I got more of this done, my pile of building-based pieces got sort of clearer and clearer in what was going on. And right now, essentially all I've got left is sort of what the log cabin bits are that are going to be in between once I've put all that other stuff together. And yeah, probably much the same here, but not much else really. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think. So anyway, let me get into that and we'll see where we end up after that. I think I'm going to work on the people after that and see, yeah, just how it holds. I will say too, I had a look at the size of this actually, and it's quite crazy to think how how many pieces fit into just this wagon. And so by the time I get the rest of this building done and put the wagon at the bottom, I'm going to be able to spin the whole thing onto this poster board, and it's going to take up basically the whole poster board. So the entire puzzle is bigger than 2 of these poster boards combined, I think, because it's 1 meter by 66 or something, and these are 60 tall, and I want to say 45 wide. They might be 50 wide, but either way, it's going to be, that's going to be a huge part of the puzzle done. So yeah, let me get into it, see how we go. So I've made quite a bit of progress after sort of getting this main building done, and the people got the bulk of the path finished. Managed to start the water on that and get that for the most part done. And so it's looking pretty good. Where it's left me, this was my water tray. This appears to be much more like sky. This, I thought from the beginning, was probably not the water. I gather it's probably this area up here or something. I'll find out eventually. And then I've got like 6, what I assume is water pieces that I can't figure out for the life of me where they go. There's only one source of water in this, and as far as I can tell, I've got all of it. So yeah, they're going to sort of sit there and wait until the end, basically. But I'm going to look to sort of put most of this together now in one sort of piece, and then I don't know, I think I'm going to try and build the border and then work on the sky on its own, and then add that, and then I'm probably going to start working on patch filling all the green bits and whatnot from there. So yeah, not that there's anything left after I do all of that, but you get the idea. So here we go. So I was waiting to record for quite a while and I kept getting interrupted. The cat's in the way, and I just kept fiddling and filling more and more pieces in while I waited to be able to record and give an update other than just time lapse the rest of it. And I'm now up to this point. So there's a bit under the cat that's still missing. That's probably going to be the last bit, but I'm down to one poster board of pieces, maybe 300 pieces, if that. So yeah, I'm pretty much just single piecing it at this point, obviously. I mean, not that you ever do more than one piece at a time, but yeah, I'm basically picking areas and just trying to get little bits, trying to fill in all these little holes here and there. Filled in a bunch sort of around here and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to try and work up this area, basically because I'm sitting down this end. I want to save this till later so my back's not sore when I finish that off, but yeah. And there's the other interaction that's interrupting things. So yeah, anyway, let me keep going and we'll see where we end up. Alright, so I am filming this about a week or more after finally completing this puzzle. Unfortunately, I got sick for quite a while, and so it took me a while to sort of be well enough to present the puzzle and so on and so forth. Once I'm finished talking, I'm going to do a pickup on this. I've decided I'm going to try it, so this will be my biggest pickup to date. I have been moving the puzzle back and forth on the felt, so I think it should be fine. And I've managed to pick up sort of half of it on this end easy enough, so I think it'll hold together. So we're going to see how that goes. But some reflections before I get to that. Honestly, this puzzle's been almost, I'd say, like a dream. I am annoyed I've got one piece missing. I have a weird feeling that I might have dropped a piece somewhere, and I've looked for it and I can't find it. So I'm going to keep looking and hopefully I'll find it eventually. But other than that, it's a complete puzzle. It was one of my op shop buys, so it was $1 for a 2,000 piece puzzle. When I first saw this in the op shop, it was a real sort of decision to make, and the big thing to me was to think about that there was different sections of it, as I've been sort of trying to do, to have different textures, different colors and so forth to film. Sorry, not to film, to build, and then sort of combine those sections together and so forth. So for the most part of it, that definitely lived up to that expectation. As you would have seen from it, I had a bit of process down pat, but I really enjoyed being able to build the buildings and then start to build everything around them, basically. And the only part where I really didn't use sort of specific details, for the most part, was the greens. And the sky, I guess. The sky wasn't too bad, though. It was a pretty quick and easy solve, just because once I got into different parts of the clouds, it was sort of fairly easy to see where it was going and whatnot. Excuse the cat in the background, always bugging me. With the greens, that's probably the one part, particularly this forestry at the top, was the last part where I really did sort of shape sorting and solving, and the last sort of maybe 300 or 400 pieces of the whole puzzle, to be honest. So it wasn't too bad in that regard. I was pretty happy at that point, actually, to do it. And I managed to fit most of it on one poster board, as you saw. So it was sort of one of these things that was just I don't know, it was at that point in solving it, I think I was just so excited to have so much of it done. It was just a real dream to sort of just finish it off, and it didn't really bother me so much that I had to piece sort and solve that way. I will say too, this is one of those puzzles where they had a lot of every sort of piece shape. So it was really quick and easy to sort of have them in groups of pieces and figure that out. So yeah, about the only one they don't have a lot of is the one that the 4 outward sticking points, as I keep saying, the cat. He's obsessed with being up here when I'm trying to do puzzles now, so he gets very annoyed if I'm not letting him sit down and all the rest of it. And, you know, we're going to persevere through. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the 4-point ones were kind of the interesting part in that. There's only a couple of them, but everything else there was a fairly even amount. I have found the pieces themselves quite good. I can't remember the brand off the top of my head, and I forgot to get the box out for filming this. But yeah, I think on the whole of it, I'm probably going to keep an eye out for that brand again, because I do think it was definitely a lovely sort of connection. It has again confirmed to me that this style of puzzle is something I'm really enjoying. I don't mind having sort of fairly basic patterns puzzles. But what I like about this is there's enough details to sort into different bits, and then enough details to sort of individually pick pieces and that. And if you haven't noticed from it, what I often do is I'll get a big pile, like I did all the building pieces together, but then I'll sit there and I'll grab out all the dark bits for the, you know, the roof textures, or I'll grab all the windows at one time and things like that. So it's become a really sort of, yeah, it's a nice process. I'm enjoying my process in doing that. Again, like the picture on this puzzle, to be honest, has been fantastic. And it's just, yeah, overall, I'm really enjoying the process. I'm probably going to look at doing another couple of smaller puzzles in the next couple of weeks. And then I'm going to try and move on to yet again a bigger puzzle. So I've got 2 3,000 piece puzzles sitting waiting to do. And I've actually just bought another 3,000 piece puzzle from the op shop. And that one I'm kind of really eager to try out. I won't do that first because I want to do one of the other ones first, because the other ones are Ravensburgers. But the one I got from the op shop is almost akin to this sort of style. It's probably going to be a little bit harder to do, but it looks like it's really old and the pieces look really thick. And I think it's a bit of an antique puzzle by the look of it. And yeah, I'm just really eager to try it and see how it goes. So that's going to be coming up soon. But yeah, so look, again, overall, I've really enjoyed this puzzle. It's one I would definitely recommend, or a similar one from that group or something. And yeah, on the whole of it, I think it's just been enjoyable. It's definitely one I'm going to hang on to. I'm going to flat pack this when I'm done with it. And yeah, so hang in there, watch me pick it up, and then once as always, thank you again for watching if you're still with me, and if you wouldn't mind leaving a, subscribing, leaving a like and a comment, that would be wonderful for the channel. I would be curious in your comments, what's your largest puzzle to date so far, and what's your largest puzzle that you've picked up, because this is hopefully going to be my largest on both cases, 2,000 pieces completed and picked up. So yeah, once I can get the cat out of the way. So let's see how we go. All right, thanks again for watching.
Yep. In frame. Yeah. Amazing.
I disconnected a little bit over here and I nearly lost the bottom there, but that's not too bad.
That was so cool.
That's great. This puzzle's so beautiful.
It is. It's lovely.
It's just a great puzzle. I really enjoyed it. Like, I honestly, it was like, even the piece sorting at the end, as you probably heard,
yeah.
I didn't mind it. At that point, I was just so eager to get it done.